The National Honors Award just went down yesterday, as you all saw. Well, the headlines also just gives the response of the president, talking about GCO and how, who got what, and asking them to also take a look at the criticisms, the concerns that have been raised with a view to properly addressing them. Well, we'll see how far we can go on that. Well, this morning we're joined by Dr. Isuwa Dogo, who is a political scientist and an analyst. Thank you for coming this morning, sir.
Thank you and good morning.
Well, it's amazing now. What a way to start. The tweets are already coming through. Let me take that of News Sumonu. Well, yes, they all saw it. He seems to be following through. As a matter of fact, he goes down memory lane, quoting Mr. Abati himself in an opinion editorial title written on the 11th of June 2010. And he says, quote, "If anyone is looking for a list of doctors who have damaged Nigeria in the last 50 years, the place to begin is the National Honors List." And this was an article he wrote, an editorial actually, in The Guardian in 2010. But today we all saw how Mr. Shebe rejected his own list. We've seen criticisms trailing in. But this ordinarily, is it normal, by the way, those kinds of response, people saying, well, no, no point in this. We thought that it was something everyone was supposed to be on the same page on.
Sorry, I do not understand you.
For the fact that criticisms are trailing this, rejections on this list, they don't seem to value it as a national honor award. It raises some concerns, doesn't it?
Absolutely. In absolute terms, it raises some concern. In the first place, if you look at the number of people that have been given national honors, well, given that it is last year and this year's list, but 350 is just too much.
Really?
And absolutely.
Is it in terms of the number or in quality of response?
Everything. Everything. If you look at the way the national honors goes, it leaves so much to be desired. In the first place, you want to ask this question: who deserves a national honor? What is a national honor in the first place? You have to look at the definition of an honor. An honor implies somebody of integrity, a decent person, an honest person, an exceptional person, somebody who has distinguished himself in his chosen field of endeavor, no matter how technical, no matter how simple we might look at it. For example, when this woman was given a national honor, that is the late Ladi Kwali, who was just a potter. Do you see it? We are talking of people that have distinguished themselves, and it is common knowledge. You don't have to ask questions. You don't have to look anywhere to find that, look, this person is a man or woman of exceptional integrity. We are not just talking of integrity, we are talking of exceptional integrity. If you look at what happens in the Nobel Prize, you can see some people have been researching in a particular subject matter for upwards of 20 years, and it has changed the course of humanity in one form or the other. These are the kind of things we are talking of when the person is being given a national honor in his chosen area of integrity, of endeavor. He has become exceptional. He has become a household name in his community, in his town, in his country. People can know him in one form or the other. And look at it. How is the national honor considered? In the Nigerian context, it has become politicized, in my view. Politicized in the sense that they have state representation. You feel that every state must produce somebody who should have a national honor. It doesn't follow. If all the people that are supposed to get it this year can only be found in Lagos, so be it. If they can only be found in Yobe, so be it. If they can only be found in Maiduguri, so be it. You cannot bring in the question of state representation. In my view, you have issue of state representation, you have the issue of religious representation, you have the issue of professional representation, you have the issue of trade representation, and all sort of mundane kind of things. In the first place, by the time you get the form, they even advertise. It is advertised and people can take. So I can take it now and put my wife's name and give all the attributes that all the things she has done so exceptionally well in quotes, and I send it. If it happens that Mope is a bosom friend and is there in the committee and some other people that can influence it, she will get a national honor, and it doesn't make sense.
No, but they say that they went through a rigorous process.
What is the rigorous process of selection? let us know the rigorous process of selection in the first place. Have you seen the rigorous process of selection apart from the forms that are completed or people making recommendations for people to be given national honors?
Is that to suggest that those who have received it are not worthy of it?
No. That's not what I'm saying. Of course, there are people who are more than worthy of receiving it. That is the truth. But we believe sincerely that a lot of them are not worthy of receiving it. In the first place, I take the issue of serving public officers. I believe that a serving public officer should not even be given any national honor until after the expiration of your tenure. When you have finished and you have gone away and people have seen that, look, what you did stands the test of times, you are given a national honor, even when you are dead. Do you see it?
The test of time, that counts.
Yes. Why will you, if you give a governor, a serving governor, a national honor, and then he leaves and the EFCC starts running after him, what do you say? No, let's be honest. What do you say? If a governor is barely 6 months on the throne, or he's just starting the second term, or whatever it is, and you think that he should get a national honor, the governors, for example, what is the criteria of giving the governors? What is even the speaker, or even those in the National Assembly, what is it that they have done exceptionally to deserve it, or simply because you hold a political position, it is natural that, look, if you are a Senate President, you should get GCON, you are Vice President, you should get this, if you are Speaker of the House, you should get this, and that is like sharing it. It does not depict the meaning of a national honor.
Let's look at, sorry to button there. I'm trying to look at how the award has evolved so far, and you talked about Hajia Ladikwali, which was a fantastic point there, because the award actually came into being in 1963 or so. Yes, 63.
Yes.
And
today we have 3,924 people that have
collected the award so far. Now, because some are already saying that now the way it is done looks like to them that it's all been politicized, because if you look at the list now, we have the list just before us here, and you look at the names, chunk number of them are either appointees of government or serving officers, as you rightly observed. So how can we reverse all of this and change? Because now everyone has been asking, if Dr. Dogo is also asking the same question that everyone is asking about the criteria, then isn't it time that the committees should speak up and tell the people exactly how they arrived at that decision?
Well, in my view, maybe they should borrow the principles applied by some of the awards that are given internationally and see how they arrived at the decision of who should be the Nobel Peace Prize, who should be that of literature, who should be that of science, and things of that nature. And even when you talk of honor, well, it is not in terms, strictly speaking, academic or something of that nature, but look at it critically, as I've already mentioned. If you are a political appointee, you are a permanent secretary, or you say this permanent secretary should get OFR or CON or whatever it is, what has he done? Do you see it? And how do you judge him at that material time? Or is it because he's connected to the powers that be or the committee or whatever it is, and you think that a political appointee should just be given a national honor? In my view, a political appointee should never be given a national honor while serving. A political appointee should only be given a national honor after he has served. Do you get it? Yeah. And not when he is serving. Because it does not really, you are judging yourself to say, look, I have distinguished myself as a political officer or as a public officer or whatever it is, and therefore I deserve it. Once a person is appointed to that position. Look, as I was looking at it the other time, I tend to think like some of them, like the ex-service chiefs. They get it. Well, they were ex-service chiefs, and they have reviewed what they did over the years, and they discovered that, look, these people have been men of integrity, and you are giving him a national award, like Lieutenant General Salih Ibrahim, for example. I mean, that you can defend something like that. Are you getting me? You can. I prefer something like that. You know, he served as a chief of army staff. He distinguished himself. He has retired several years after, and you found him blameless, and you are giving him a national honor. I mean, nobody can question that. that, look, this is a man of integrity.
Are we so much in a hurry? Must it be a yearly event? Because now you're saying that we should take a cue from what is being done in other places. Now, look at the Mo Ibrahim Award, for instance.
Truly speaking, it shouldn't be a yearly award. If you do not find people that are worthy of national honor this year, please, for God's sake, leave it. We don't also need a legion of national awards. We don't need it, because it becomes too common. And you find out that, look, if almost everybody in every region, you have this one, by the time they are doing some of these citations, something of that nature, somebody has received a national honor about 4 times within 5 years or so, you know, from the lowest, and he keeps on being promoted as if he's in the army or the police or the navy or something of that nature. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, so
because it shows that the person had not even been evaluated. If it were the principle was followed, that person would have reached his peak, and he has reached his end, and you have seen and judged him to be worthy of it, and you are giving him that national honor maybe once and for all. It wouldn't be a graduating thing. You get the lower one, the next one, until you reach the highest one, and you become field marshal.
What is the deserving of it?
What is the deserving? That is what we are saying. Deserving of it is not when you are there, when you have finished your work and the people. It should be the judgment of the people, in the real sense of it, to say that, look, this person is deserving of this honor. It is not the judgment of just anybody.
It is clear from all that you have said that our National Honors Award needs a reform. It's in dire need of a reform. Because
absolute terms.
When people begin to reject an award, then there is something wrong, especially when they give very strong reasons. Well, you saw the reason given by Professor Chinua Achebe the first time when he rejected the award. And this time around, that was 4 years ago, this time around, he's rejected it the second time. Did you happen to see the response of the presidency to his rejection this time around?
Well, the president said what he did was his rejecting it is wrong. You don't even talk of wrong or right in rejecting somebody. If I give you something and you reject it, you may not be acting in saying you are wrong or right. You have your reasons.
Well, they said it was regrettable that he was rejecting the award, because, and they based their premise basically on the 2011 elections that everyone said was free and fair.
Well, elections does not translate to mean, the guy's premise of rejecting it is not an issue of elections only. He's talking of the economy. We are talking of the lives of people, of Nigerian people, the masses of this country. Has anything touched and changed their lives significantly since the first one that he was given? The answer is no. You see it? And so if he based it on that first premise, that look, the Nigerian economy is going down to the doldrums. You see that it's like in a reverse gear. You see that, look, nothing has changed. You know, the improvement expected has not really been there for an average Nigerian. Then why will you change your mind? In fact, if you had accepted it, I would have criticized him. Because I would have said that, look, if you said this was why you rejected it the first time, and you are accepting it now, give the yardstick why you are accepting it.
The first time was the controversy in his state. You remember the Ngige and I think Peter Obi crisis that wasn't letting the state move forward.
Even up to now, the controversy has not changed.
If someone actually sent a tweet yesterday that,
it has not changed.
That the government hasn't even apologized to him on the bad state of our roads, because that actually cost him
his legs.
His legs.
Yes. So the controversy has never changed. So in fact, the controversies have become even more compounded in every ramification of it.